So to show you that it's not atomic, I'm going to create a new block here. So I'm going to create a math ABS block. And what it's going to be is it's going to be an input, a space for an input, followed by .abs, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. Again, I can make the text look like anything, but I may as well make it look like what I'm actually going to be generating code as. And you can see the arguments. I'm going to be, this %1 is going to be replaced by the 0th element in this arg0 array. So it's going to be a value input, and the value input is going to actually be named value, and it's going to check that that input is a number. The output should be a number because the absolute value of a number is a number, and the color is just going to be the color of the math blocks, which is this like bluish purple. So I define that block, and then I'm going to do new block math ABS, right? And I'm going to call init svg on it, and then I will render the workspace and spell render correctly. There we go. So we have this new block here, and I'm going to put this -5 in, right? But I haven't actually said what the code for this should be. Right, so if I do to JavaScript, I'm going to get a nice error. It does not know how to generate code for block type math ABS. So what I'll do here is I will define a JavaScript generator for this. So blockly.javascript math_ABS. Right, I put that in quotes. Function block. And I will have to get the value of the input, right? So I will be getting, remember that value is called, the name of that input is value, all right? So I'm just gonna be a little lazy here and just call that. So I'll just say var, I don't know, num. Remember I named this value. And for the order, right, this is going to be, what should we put here? Right, if you remember, we have the member operator there. So we would want to say blockly.javascript.order member, right? And what would we want to return as the code? We would just want to return num plus exactly what you see up here, num plus dot abs. Right, so I'm just going to return that for the code. So let's see what happens, right? So to JavaScript, put it in parentheses, right? It correctly put it in parentheses. But if math number didn't have this thing over here where it said code greater than or equal to 0, right, then use atomic. But since it's not greater than or equal to 0, it would use order unary negation, right? Remember, that's basically, that's that putting that negative in front. So if I again just change this and I just said, oh, it's always just going to be order atomic. So I may as well just, easiest way to fix that would just be, and then if we run it again, we would see this, right? And this would be incorrect because you're going to wind up doing 5.abs again from the operator precedence. You see that member has a stronger precedence than unary negation, right? So just to check this, because we didn't actually run any code, and if you did something like right now, -5.abs, well, JavaScript doesn't know what that means, right? Or the interpreter for JavaScript doesn't know what that means. So I'm just going to do something quick. You don't have to completely understand what it means, but I am just going to say this number.prototype.abs is going to just be math.abs. So I'm just going to do function return this dot abs. Oh, sorry. Math.abs of this. And this is going to refer to the number that it's called on. You shouldn't do this in general, but for purposes of just seeing this exercise here, we will see that invalid or unexpected token. Oh, sorry. We have to put a space there because there's a number. So -5.abs, that gives us -5, right? Last time I checked, the absolute value of -5 should be 5. So sure enough, if we put it in parentheses, you would get the 5, right? So you won't always notice this because you wouldn't really have functions in JavaScript where you would see these problems, but you just have to be then careful when you write the code for the generators that you are accounting for all operators that are being applied. Okay, so I think that's it for now. You got an introduction also how to do some other stuff like create blocks and render them in the workspace. So hopefully this was a helpful video or helpful video series. Even if I were meandering a bit, remember I said this is not scripted, so I'm sure I could have made this much more concise and much more elegant. I'm sure I made some mistakes in what I said with precision along the way, but hopefully this was helpful. Okay, so that's all, and good luck with fixing the problem, and I will review your code.